All right, let's get right into it. We're going to dive into some of the biggest leaks we've seen for what's coming next from Apple. The iPhone 18 Pro, and yes, their very first foldable phone. We're going to break down all the rumored features so you know exactly what to expect. I mean, that is a seriously bold claim, right? So what could possibly make this upgrade so special? Well, we're talking about a brand new chip, a truly game-changing camera, and some connectivity features that, frankly, you probably thought were still years away. So, let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the design. Now, at a quick glance, it might look pretty familiar, but the real story is in the details. Apple is making some subtle but really crucial changes to the look and feel of the 18 Pro.
Now what's really interesting here is that shrinking dynamic island. The screen sizes are staying the same, but that cutout is actually getting smaller. How? Well, Apple is reportedly moving the Face ID flood eliminator underneath the display itself. Super clever. We're also expecting a new frosted glass back, and the Pro Max model is going to be just a tiny bit thicker, which almost certainly means a bigger battery. And of course, this special color, a brand new deep red.
Underneath that glass, the screen itself is getting a solid upgrade to something called LTPO+. Now that might sound a little technical, but here's all you need to know. It's even more power efficient than the screens we have now. This isn't the flashiest update, sure, but it's one you will actually feel because it translates directly to better all-day battery life.
All right, let's talk about the camera, because this could be one of the biggest hardware leaps we've seen from Apple in a long time. It looks like they're finally shifting away from just software tricks and moving toward pure hardware power.
And the key to this whole change is something called variable aperture. The easiest way to think about it is like the pupil of your eye. It's a real physical part of the camera that can open up or close down to control exactly how much light hits the sensor. And that dramatically improves, well, just about everything, from low-light photos to that beautiful, blurry background effect we all love.
And this slide really illustrates the difference perfectly. See, up until now, iPhones have used a fixed aperture. That awesome bokeh effect in portrait mode. That's all been computational, a software trick. With the hardware-based variable aperture, that background blur becomes natural. It becomes optical. It also means the camera can physically let in more light when it's dark, giving you genuinely better low-light photos. It's a huge step up.
But, okay, let's have a little dose of reality here. As incredible as this new hardware is, the physical sensor inside a smartphone is still tiny. So while this is a massive leap forward for mobile photography, it's not going to suddenly replace a dedicated full-frame professional camera. It's just an important distinction to keep in mind.
So we've covered the outside, now let's look inside. From the camera, we're going to move to the very core of the device, where we're expecting some major upgrades to the chip and all of its wireless tech.
And at the heart of it all, we have the A20 Pro, the next generation of Apple silicon. And what makes this chip so special is really about how it's built.
You see, it's being built on a 2-nanometer process. Now, going from 3 nanometers to 2 might not sound like a huge jump, but in the world of chip design, it is a monumental leap. It means you can cram way more transistors into the same tiny space, and that translates directly to massive gains in both raw performance and power efficiency. Your phone's going to be faster, and your battery's going to last longer. It's a win-win.
And it's not just the main chip getting a boost. Connectivity is getting a huge upgrade too, with Wi-Fi 7. Thanks to a new N2 wireless chip, you can expect much faster speeds and way more stable connections for things like AirDrop and your personal hotspot. Fewer drop signals, faster transfers, all good things.
And then on the cellular side, we've got the new C2 modem. This is Apple's own in-house design, and it continues their big push to improve speed and efficiency while moving one step closer to completely replacing the Qualcomm chips they've been using for years. It's a really big strategic move for them. But you know, all of that kind of pales in comparison to the one connectivity feature that could completely change the game. I mean, just think about it. What if your phone just worked, no matter how far off the grid you were?
This is it, the real game changer. Apple is reportedly bringing full web browsing via satellite to the iPhone 18 Pro. We already have emergency SOS, which is amazing, but this is a whole different level. Imagine being on a hike with absolutely zero cell service and still being able to pull up a map or check the weather. This is a massive, massive deal for anyone who ever spends time away from cell towers.
So look, the 18 Pro is shaping up to be this huge, complete upgrade. It really is the perfection of a formula Apple has been refining for years. But when you've perfected one thing, what do you do next? you explore something entirely new. And that, my friends, brings us to the Foldable.
Yup, it looks like we're finally getting a real look at Apple's first foldable iPhone. Now, the information we have here comes from dummy models, the kind that get shared with case manufacturers before a big launch. So they tend to be pretty accurate when it comes to the final shape and size. And this is what those leaks are telling us. It's a passport-style form factor, with a big 7.8-inch inner display and a very usable 5.5-inch outer one. So what does that actually mean for you? It means you get a totally normal, pocketable phone for all your quick tasks, but then it opens up into this mini tablet for watching movies or reading or multitasking. It really is a two-in-one device wrapped in a super thin titanium frame. And yeah, as you probably guessed, it comes with a very premium price tag, starting at around $2,000. So, when you put all of this together, it really sets the stage for a massive September launch event for Apple. We're getting a major, pro-level upgrade to the phone we all know and love, and an entirely new product category launching right alongside it. So just to recap, the iPhone 18 Pro, we've got the new deep red color, a smaller dynamic island, a more efficient LTPO Plus display, that hardware-based variable aperture camera, the new 2nm A20 Pro chip, and the game-changing satellite web browsing. It really truly lives up to that name, complete upgrade.
And what's really interesting is that this event seems to signal a whole new launch strategy. Apple is expected to launch the Pro models and the new Foldable together in September. Then, the following spring in 2027, we'll see the standard iPhone 18 models and a new iPhone Air 2. So they're spreading out their releases and focusing on the high-end stuff first. Which, of course, leaves us with one final big question. The iPhone 18 Pro is getting what looks like one of its most complete upgrades in years. No doubt about it. But with an entirely new form factor entering the picture, you just have to wonder, is the Foldable the real story here? And what does it say about the future of the iPhone itself?